You ever seen two black men the same age? One still got a clean lineup, the other one hiding under a fitted? It's not just genetics. It's not luck. It's what stage they caught it in. But here's the problem. Most black men don't know what to look for. Our texture, our styles, our barbers, they hide the signs until it's too late. So today, I'm breaking it down stage by stage. Real photos, real example, a real plan. Before your hairline fades quietly and permanently. My name is Brandon. I wasted years chasing gimmicks while my corners kept fading. Nothing worked until I stopped guessing, became a trichologist, and started building real solutions that actually help. Now I'm running a grooming brand that's helping real men fix what I used to struggle with every day. Now this is where black men miss the sign. It's the first shift, not dramatic, just a little change. The corners start creeping back, but the lineup still looks sharp. You're hitting the barbershop weekly or cutting it yourself. Everything looks clean, but behind that crispy edge, your corners are quietly backing up. You think your hairline's solid, but really, you just been lining it up higher and tighter. Week by week, you're edging into a recession and don't even know it. Most Norwood charts, like this one right here, is made for straight or wavy hair, men with light scalps that makes it easy to see the thinning. But us, we have tight curls, darker scalps, fades, and tapers. All that hides the sign. And by the time you notice it, you've already lost ground. That am I tripping or is my line creeping moment, not the beginning anymore, but just enough to second guess yourself. Your corners are clearly backing up. Still clean in the front, but the corners forming that sharper V. With low cuts or waves, it looks even until you stop under a bright light or see it right after a fresh cut. That's when it hits your lighter corners, uneven density, and new angles that weren't there before. Now, some of the rumble I hear with a lot of guys is they may say, he pushed me back. But if it looks the same after 3 or 4 cuts, it's not the barber. It's your corners slowly sliding back. What you might notice is your barber's tweaking your line to keep it even. You're brushing the corners more, trying to lay them down, trying to hide them. You're grabbing enhancements just to fill in the gaps. Now it's hard to ignore. The corners are pulling back heavy. That classic M shape is starting to form. Stage 3 is here. But here's what fools a lot of black men. You still have a lot of thick texture up top. You have coarse curls and waves, so it looks full. But tilt your head down, take a photo from above. That's when the reception slaps you in the face. This is when coping starts. You're cutting it too low to even it out, growing the top longer to cover the edges, asking the barber to keep it thick or bring the line forward. Enhancements, now it's a routine. You think you're maintaining, but really you're masking. And when the crown starts thinning too, welcome to stage 4. But look, if you don't want to wait until your hairline jumps from a stage 2 to a stage 5, get a free consult while I'm still taking them. I'll break it all down, real simple. Click the link below and lock it in. You might not know it by name, but if your crown's thinning and your corners won't connect, you're in stage 4. Now, it's not just the front. The loss is hitting multiple zones. Your corners push back, your crown's starting to grow, and you still have coverage, but it's patchy. Now, there are some things that black men are always missing at this particular point, and that is that with the tight curls and the darker tones, it can hide the thinning until you wash it or cut it low or step into a bright light. Then that's when the scalp starts to get loud. And you can always tell when, a person is at stage 4 because you're spraying enhancements every cut. You keep it short to hide the top. Your corners and crown never quite connect. You're picking fluffy spots just to, fake coverage. You feel stuck between trying and giving up. If you said, let me get a low joint, it'll look better, but it doesn't, welcome to stage 5. This ain't thinning anymore. It's advanced hair loss. At this point, you can see through the crown even indoors. Also, the temples are fully gone, or they have a deep U shape. Your line is further back. The center is soft, patchy, or bare. The density lives only in a horseshoe zone, the back and side. Again, these are some of the signs that men miss at this particular point when they start needing to get enhancements at every cut, or if the curls ain't holding up top, if they're wearing hoodies and hats to replace their hairstyle, or if a low cut makes it look more obvious. Now, you ever look in the mirror and the front and the crown don't even connect? That's stage 6 or 7. This is what it looks like. The bridge is broken, no hair in the middle, and the only hair left is the horseshoe, side and back. You have no more coils, you have no coverage. Even enhancements can't fake it anymore. Now, this is where it gets tricky for brothers because we want to hold on to false hope. Like, like, oh, I still see some strand. This is what we tell ourselves, but it's not about a few survivors. It's about the collapse. What's actually going on is that your follicles are miniaturized. There's a lot of inflammation there in your scalp, and those follicles are dormant or dead. So you're not getting any blood flow, so it's making those follicles weaker. And now your scalp is developing scar tissue in certain areas. This ain't about buying another oil. It's about waking the scalp up and building a plan that actually gives it a chance. That's why we need tailored education, not just generic advice. Now, if you're wondering how to check what stage you're at, do this. Go to a well-lit room. Use a mirror or on your phone selfie in video mode. I want you to look at your temples to see if they're receding or if they're solid. I want you to look at the crown, if you see any patches or any splits. And I also want you to look at your hairline. You want to ask yourself, is it holding or is it shifting? You want to take those 3 photos, and you can click a link in description and you can send them over my way and I can let you know what stage you're at. But don't wait till your barber says something. Your scalp is trying to tell you something only if you're willing to look. You ever try putting out a fire with a water gun or blasting a birthday candle with a fire hose? Either way, wrong tool for the job. That's exactly what most guys are doing with their hairline. You're either undertreating it or doing the most too early. Let's break it down. If you're in stage 1, you're just starting to see signs. Your corners are softening, your crown is looking a little light. The goal is preservation, not to panic. So you don't need to load up on 5% minoxidil or oral meds. Instead, focus on the basics. Natural DHT blockers like saw palmetto, pumpkin seed oil, stinging nettle, maybe 2% minoxidil if needed. Most importantly, you want to create a healthy scalp environment. I would even add in ketoconazole at 1 to 2%. Now flip it. Let's say you're in stage 5 or 6. We're talking real recession, thinning crown, and bald patches starting to show. Minoxidil alone, definitely not enough. You'll need microneedling, finasteride, maybe even a transplant prep. But none of that works if your scalp's inflamed or your plan's a mess. Now look at my boy Reggie. He's sitting in stages 3 to 4. Still got some density, but his hairline is on the rope. And what he's been doing is applying oils, hoping that it'll fix it. But at this stage, that's like tossing vitamins at a bullet wound. Smells good, looks shiny, but it ain't stopping no DHT. What Reggie really needs is a structured game plan. Microneedle, oral or topical DHT support, topical minoxidil, coaching to stay consistent and track progress, because without all that, he's not recovering. He's just delaying the inevitable. Now, once you hit stage 5, everything changed. Some of your follicles are still alive, but they're barely hanging on. And if you wait too long, they'll shut down for good. And once they go offline, there ain't no product that can bring them back. At this point in the game, minoxidil might slow things down. If you try to take natural DHT blockers, they'll give you some support, but they're not gonna save you. You'll need microneedling, meds, and maybe even surgery. But none of that works unless your scalp is ready for the battle. Now take my boy Little Bobby. He was already at stages 5 to 6 when he finally tried finasteride and minoxidil. At first, he saw signs of life, little regrowth here, but then he started thinking about the side effects, and you already know, he stopped. And when he came back months later, it was way too late. He had no blood flow, no stimulation, no chance. Some guys go in the opposite direction. They panic and throw the whole kitchen sink at their scalp. Green tea rinse on Monday, rosemary oil on Tuesday, microneedling on Wednesday. They don't have structure, they don't have no consistency, and they don't have no long-term plan. And that is a recipe for chaos. Now look at my boy Eddie. He's in stage 3, still very recoverable, but his routine all over the place. One week he's doing clove water, the next week he's doing glow and grow oil, and then the following week he's doing nothing. His scalp is just confused, like, what are we doing here? And so that's why his results are non-existent. And the real problem, he doesn't know what's working or what's hurting, because hair loss don't reward guesswork, it rewards strategy. Now, some guys think once it's gone, so they stop trying. Others, they had the advantage, but wasted it, chasing YouTube hacks, jumping from one oil to oil. They had no plan. They were just going off how they felt. I've been on one side of that. Now I help men on the other. You see, I noticed my corner started fading about 6 years ago. I had stage 1, maybe stage 2. I was in that particular ballpark. I had some light thinning, I had some light recession, but I didn't wait. I moved fast, like Speedy Gonzalez, before the follicles started to shut down. And here's what I built: an all-natural, holistic-based system focused on scalp health and DHT control. And I did this through several ways. I used the My Hair Repair Serum day and night, no skipping, and I layered it with an all-natural DHT blocking shampoo and conditioner to help clear up any buildup or blockage that was going on my scalp. Paired it with supplements, saw palmetto, zinc, biotin, things of that nature. And there were some other lifestyle things I was changing as well, like I was getting better sleep, I was drinking more water, and I was focusing on having less stress. And what did I get from that? I was able to cap my density, I didn't need meds, and I saw real regrowth. You see, early action gave me a head start most guys never get. I wasn't just using product, I had a plan. Let's say you're in stage 3, 4, or even 5, 6, or 7, right? Your crown's thinning, your corners are gone, you tried some stuff, maybe saw a little progress, maybe not. Here's the truth. You didn't miss your shot. You just need a different strategy. It's not about catching up to me. It's about starting where you are, getting serious. You have 2 lanes. One lane are stages 1 through 2. This is about preservation and regrowth. The goal is to preserve the density and slow up the recession and regrow any early thinning. Part of the plan is you can use some natural DHT blockers, a serum, shampoo, supplements. You can add 2% minoxidil if needed, ketoconazole. So you want to prioritize focusing on your scalp health, creating a healthy scalp environment, because you want to begin to reduce that inflammation. And you want to do this on a daily basis. Consistency is everything at this point. Don't need to go hard. You just need to stay consistent. Lane 2, for my brothers that are in stages 3 and 7, it's about stabilization and rebuilding. You want to stop the bleeding, you want to start reviving the follicles, and you want to rebuild the scalp environment. Part of that plan in order to do that is finasteride, and you can do oral or topical. You can also support it with natural DHT blockers, microneedling, topical minoxidil, probably 5%. You want to do a scalp detox. You want to exfoliate and remove any dead skin cells, and you want to support that with some anti-inflammatory oil. Also add in some DIY massage therapy at home, and you might need some red light therapy just to help to restore the blood flow. In this stage of the game, you're not trying to bring it all back. You're trying to slow the loss, strengthen whatever's left, regrow where there's still life, and set yourself up for a stronger outcome, transplant or not. You don't need a miracle. You need to take control back over your confidence. But now you actually know what stage you're in, and that's just the beginning, big dog. Because if you don't know how to block DHT the right way, it doesn't matter what stage you're at. You'll still be losing ground. Still wondering why your treatments aren't hitting. Still watching your corners fade. Cut after cut after cut. If you're thinking about saving your hairline, you need to watch this next video before DHT eats up what you got left.